Since the release of Book of Boba Fett Episode 6, people are speculating whether or not Luke is headed down the wrong path. Luke seems to be teaching the same lesson about attachments that the Republic Jedi held, and is even forcing Grogu to make a choice between the Jedi and Din Djarin. Considering where Luke ends up in The Last Jedi, people are pointing out that this mistake is the downfall of the Jedi for the second time. In the Star Wars Expanded Universe, Luke took a different path. He allowed Jedi to marry and have relationships and children. There's a lot of conversation amongst the fan base about wishing that he had taken this path. However, I wholeheartedly disagree. Many in the fan base seem to not fully remember what happens in the expanded universe, as well as they don't seem to have a full grasp on what exactly attachment is. The expanded universe saw Luke actually turn to the dark side and become Palpatine's apprentice. Luke joined the dark side as the only way to save everything. And this decision that he made to join the dark side haunts him for the rest of his life. In addition to Luke, we also have Jacen Solo, his nephew. After having premonitions of his daughter, Alana, turning to the dark side, Jacen Solo turned himself into Darth Caedus, and he brought the galaxy to its knees because he thought he would be able to protect his daughter by doing so. The Jedi of the Republic era were right to say that attachment can lead to the dark side, and that you have to learn to let go of the things you are afraid to lose. It just happens to seem that a lot of people don't understand what that truly means. It's often misconstrued as you can't care about anyone and you're not allowed to have feelings, that you're forced to be celibate. None of this is true. In Star Wars Attack the Clones, Anakin gives a full explanation on attachments to Padme and ends it by saying that the Jedi are actually encouraged to love. This not only shows what Anakin was actually taught, but that he understood it. He just chose to go a different route. George Lucas himself has directly said that the Jedi are not meant to be celibate. And in explaining the Force, explains that you are allowed to love, but you are not allowed to possess people. In an interview, Kelsey Sharp from the Lucasfilm Story Group said the following: "A Jedi's most important relationship is the one they have with the Force, and if a personal attachment risks eclipsing that vow that they made to preserve the balance, that's when they risk heading down the path to the dark side." But what I will say is that every Jedi is different. Only they know for themselves where that line is. A romance that for one Jedi might constitute an unwise attachment, for another Jedi might actually strengthen their relationship to the Force by reminding them of the connections between all living beings and the importance of an individual in addition to the cosmic perspective. At the end of the day, a Jedi has to ask themselves, are my emotions controlling me, or am I in control of my emotions? Is this going to help me serve the Force, or is this just serving my own ego? In the High Republic book, Race to Crash Point Tower by Daniel Jose Older, Vernestra Rwoh and Lula Talasola have an excellent conversation about this topic. Vernestra is afraid that she's become a ball of attachments, but she has it explained to her. Vernestra says, "If Jedi weren't supposed to feel anything, we might as well be droids, and even they feel things if you think about it. The fact that we feel, that we care, is what makes the Jedi great." Balance, Vernestra said. Being a Jedi is about balance. Balance of the Force within you, the Force in the wider world, balance of the Force as it flows through us. Take Master Sai or your friend Zine. You would try to save them if their lives were in danger, yes? But a stranger, or an enemy even, you would try to save their lives too, yes? To which Vernestra says yes again. But you don't care about them, right? And yet you'd save them anyways. Why? Because I care about life and the light. I'd save them because it's the right thing to do. And that is also why you'd save Master Sai or Zine. Let me ask this. If saving Master Sai or Zine meant that you'd never see them again, but you'd have the knowledge that they'd be safe, would you still do it? Lula said that she would, to which Vernestra responded with, "Then you are saving them for them, Padawan, not for yourself. It is not an attachment." If Anakin's explanation of attachments in Attack of the Clones isn't enough, and George Lucas's explanation isn't enough, and the story group's explanation isn't enough, and the explanation in a recent book isn't enough, then consider this illustration. In Star Wars, when Jedi access the Force, they're often told to search with their feelings, to reach out with their feelings. This obviously means that they are allowed to feel. That's how they access the Force. And since your emotions and motives are the conduit through which you access the Force, that's why you have to be careful. Imagine that something like alcoholism runs in your family. How would you respond to that? For some people, the answer would be not to drink at all, because that is a dangerous temptation and they don't want to risk going down that path at all. Others might see the risk and just be wary of it and only drink on special occasions. But there are those that will ignore it completely and just do whatever they would like regardless of the risk. Obi-Wan, for instance, knew his limit when it came to Duchess Satine. He had a relationship with her and he cared for her very deeply. But he also understood that pursuing a relationship with her would constitute a negative attachment. He was willing to leave the Order to be with her. He knew that he wouldn't be able to devote himself completely to her and the Order at the same time. It wouldn't be fair to either. In the end, Obi-Wan stayed with the Jedi Order. When Satine died, he still felt for her. He felt sadness and grief over losing her. But he was able to let it go. He did not let his sadness and grief overwhelm him. He didn't let those emotions control him and walk him down the path to the dark side. Anakin, on the other hand, decided that he would be willing to burn the galaxy to the ground, to destroy the Jedi Order, to kill younglings and anyone that was his former friend. He joined the dark side willingly and intentionally because he thought it would give him the power to save Padme. And decades later, he still wasn't able to let go. The whole purpose of Vader's castle looking like a tuning fork was an attempt to bring Padme back. The events of the VR game Vader Immortal is another attempt to bring Padme back. This is what Luke is guarding against in his new Jedi Order. Luke continues to teach about attachment because it's the right thing to do. Grogu almost killed Cara Dune because he thought he was protecting Din. If he wants to learn how to be a Jedi, he needs to learn how to control his emotions. Because remember, your emotions are how you contact the Force. I fully believe that what Luke is asking Grogu is merely a test. I think he's going to be able to keep the chainmail regardless of his choice. Earlier in the episode, Luke wondered if Grogu's heart was truly in it, and I think this is what he's trying to find out. Just like Ahsoka said in The Mandalorian Season 2. And she knows what attachments can do to people, even the best of the Jedi. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. Thank you to everyone listening and to my supporters. And if you enjoy this content, please like, share, comment, do all the things. Please let me know if you have any questions or ideas for more videos that I should make in the future. I really appreciate all of you, and may the Force be with you always.
You would be wise to surrender.